Now then, good evening. How you doing? You all right? Welcome to the stream, everybody. Hope you're all well on your Friday evening. Who've we got? Davey's Farming. Hello, mate. Swiss Sim Gamer. Good evening to you, pal. How you doing? Hope you're good. Lee Grant. Evening, buddy. Hope all is well. Charlie James Stannard. Good evening, mate. Andreas. Hey, buddy. How are you? Good to see you. Appreciate your time on your Friday evening. How are we? We're all right. Doing good. So yeah, I kind of figured I'd throw another live stream together this evening. Skeptic Cowboy. Hello, mate. Hope you're all well. Appreciate you stopping by. So yeah, I kind of figured I'd throw another live stream together this Friday night because I just haven't had time to put a video together for tonight. So, well, the next best alternative, isn't it? Get a bit more time here on the incredible Judith Plains. I've got to say, I've just said it so many times already, haven't I? I just can't get enough of this place. But yeah, I hope you're all doing good. Chad Preel, hello, mate. Hope you're good. How's things, everyone? It's been warm today in the UK, hasn't it? It's been like, well, it's been about 22 degrees, but it's felt like almost 30. It's been, yeah, it's hot in the UK. It's even hotter in this little room, mate. I've got my little asthmatic 4-inch desk fan just there, desperately trying to blow a bit of, move a bit of warm air towards my face, and I've got a big fan over there somewhere blowing away. And it's still hot as hell because I've got a computer down here that's been going for hours and hours and hours. So, yeah, there's not much I can do about that. But yeah, it's been a warm one, and it's been about 22 degrees, but it's felt like almost 30, and it's been proper breeze down here in Cheshire where I am. But it's still been like proper warm, so yeah, can't complain though. Need the nice weather. So yeah, another live stream, so we've got plenty to crack on with tonight. We're in the last live stream, which was last week I think it was, we harvested this field of wheat over here, didn't we? So what I'm going to do, I've got a wonderful mod by LR Modding. It's called it's a John Deere 915 Ripper. This thing here that I've got stashed under the tree, it's an absolute beast. So I've been looking forward to getting this thing ploughing away through the fields. 32 degrees Swiss. Goodness me, mate, that's warm. Yeah, I'm good, thank you, Andreas. Very well, thank you, mate. Very well indeed. Appreciate that. Hope all's good. So yeah, we're going to be putting that to use, using our big John Deere 9RX, because that's one of the only things we've got on the farm at the minute that's got enough power to drag that thing. It's only 8 meters wide, but yeah, 550 horsepower you need to shift that thing. It's quite a thing, but yeah, I'll tell you what though, it's been a good week in the farming simulator community, hasn't it? Because Easy Development Controls has come back, hasn't it, by GTX. That is a mod that I know from people like myself who work on this side of the fence, as it were, making content and videos and all that kind of stuff. That is one of the most sought after mods and most well used mods way back in Farming Simulator 22, and so glad it's back for 25 now. It's a couple of days ago it came back, and it's just great to have it back, so you can just shortcut, go into your menus and pretty much just do anything you want, change anything you want, move your tractor, you can teleport to a different part of the map and all that kind of stuff. There's so much you can do. It's an incredible mod, it really is. Hey up Dutch, how are you, pal? You alright, mate? Never got this in Dundee. Old Cranky, good evening, mate, how you doing? Nice to see you, buddy, hope you're well. Yeah, but yeah, so Easy Dev Controls is back. Thank goodness for that, that's all I've got to say. It's although it's been weird because excuse me, because we've done without it for so long, I've had no choice but to get used to using the development console here that you get. Forgive the errors, that's all a lighting thing, because I've got the Darker Shadows mod box thing running in the background. But yeah, I've got so used to using it now that I've got to turn myself around and start getting used to using Easy Dev Controls again. I love this map. First time I used big machines, last time I used big machines was in FS17. Goodness me. Did you not get any big stuff out in 19 and 22, Andreas? Ah. Well, this map is perfect for it, isn't it? The fields are perfect. Now, speaking of this map, actually, if any of you are interested, about, well, 3 hours and 6 minutes ago, I've started up my first community multiplayer server here on Judith Plains. You can get access to it and all the details, all the relevant details and mods that you will require if you're interested in joining over on my Discord. So the link for the Discord should be in the video description below. So please do. It's open to anyone. There are, obviously, those of you who are familiar with multiplayer in Farming Simulator will know that there's limits to how many players you can have on a server. That's 16. That's out of our control. And up to now, or up to a wee while ago, there was a limit of, I think it was 8 farms, if I remember correctly. And there's a mod out there by a modder called Mechnoxer called More Farms, and that basically winds up the default number of farms you can have on a multiplayer server from 8 up to 30. So, and with this map being what it is, a 4x and massive and just perfect for multiplayer, I've added a whole load of mods onto it, and one of the mods is that More Farms. So there's 6 farms set out on the map, obviously the 6 pre-builts, this being one of them, all the ones that DJ Modding has built himself and given names and this wonderful just design to. And then there's also a handful of others that are just empty farms. But yeah, like I say, it started. I turned it on at 5 o'clock this evening. It's had a reasonable reception so far. I believe right now there are a handful of people possibly playing on it still. So please, by all means, if you do fancy a bit of a multiplayer server session, feel free to jump on the Discord and help yourself to the information that's in there. There's a separate Judith Plains multiplayer server section on the Discord there. In there you will find the password and the name of the server and such, and the link to all the mods that you'll need to download to get onto it. So, but yeah, if you fancy that, please, by all means, jump on board. Hey up, FARMERSIM Briscoe, how are you, mate? You okay? Appreciate you joining me, mate. How's STRIX? How's Saxlingham coming on, mate? Hey Leroy, how are you, pal? You play on Riverview in FS25. It's got to, yes, tornadoes. We've got this on here as well. I think tornadoes are on any map, aren't they, in FARMERSIM 25? But it doesn't make sense to me to have stuff like that turned on, especially on the European maps and like the UK maps, because we just don't really get tornadoes over here. That's not really our kind of thing. So, but yeah, over here on the American map, I do have that disaster destruction turned on. I haven't. Do you know what? I haven't still on the. I haven't got my Steam page up, but I think I'm somewhere in the region of about 700 or 800 hours, or possibly 800 to 900 hours into Farming Simulator 25, and I still have yet to see a wild tornado appear on any of my game saves, which is a shame, because it'd be nice to see them, maybe not too often, of course. You don't want to see tornadoes too often, do you? But hey up, Cher, how are you, love? Nice to see you, mate. Hope you're well. How's STRIX? How's your week going? Have you got the warm weather where you are as well? You love old style and old machines, but in this map the small machines are too small. Yes, I must admit, Andreas, yes, on this map the small machines are just that little bit too small, I think. I do have I've got a small tractor down there that I am going to potentially use at some point very soon, the old Farmall 1206, the International there, with a nice old cultivator on. I do love this tractor. I don't know what it is about it. I used it. It was available in FARMERSIM 22, and it was just one of my. If I wanted to get my old machinery on, this was what I beelined to straight away. It's a gorgeous thing. I love it. And this one in particular, if anyone saw the first episode of this live stream series that I started, this one's actually got 300 horsepower. So it's got plenty of oomph. And we've just got this really nice old International kind of cultivator as well. So. Yeah, I've got me toe in a little bit of old machinery, shall we say, on this map. But to get started, we need to get in the big new machinery, don't we? Map's close. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Bit of inside information from the creator himself, Saxlingham. If any of you aren't aware of Saxlingham's existence and its creation, go check out FARMERSIM Briscoe's YouTube page. I'm sure you all know who FARMERSIM Briscoe is. The creator of the amazing oaks, and following on from that, the vintage oaks. One of my favourite maps in FARMERSIM 22, and the home to one of my favourite series that I created on there. There we go. So yeah, it's not a very big thing, is it? So like I said, it's only 8 metres wide, but you really do need a lot of ponies to pull it. So there we are. You started my blanket. Oh, do you know what? I remember you saying something about that. Yeah. Oh, mate. I'll tell you what. I definitely don't need a blanket right now. It's boiling hot in this room right now. It really is. Right, let's get this. But yeah, thank you very much, Cher. That's awesome, mate. That really is. Looking forward to that. Right, so we're going to crack on with this field still in here. Let me bring up my steering assist. 8 metres, only we're going to want 2 headlands, work direction, automatic, yeah, that looks about right. Show lines off, yeah, there we go, that will do for me. Right. So we'll start with the centre rows, of course. I'm just going to pick anyone for now and just make a start, and then I can gauge where I'm up to. There we go, that'll do. Oh, you're following the headland. I don't want to follow the headland. I want to follow... You know what, I'll just bring up the line, shan't I, just to make my life a little bit easier. I'm going in completely the wrong direction, that's why. Now, I think we can change that though, can't we? That's I kind of feel like I want to be working in this direction. So, let's see. Bring this back up again, work direction. I want to be going... Have a look at the map a minute from the PDA. Yeah, I just want to go in, I just want to go 90. Work direction. 90 degrees. Yeah, it's better, I think. That's a bit more like it. That's better. That's better. You've seen a couple of twisters, but neither have hit you, sadly. Don't say that. You don't want them to hit you, do they? Do you? They do cause a little bit of damage to the fields, that's for sure. Right, we'll pick this... doing the very best to reverse an articulated tractor in a relatively straight line. There we go, that's better. That's better. I'm alright, thank you, Leroy, mate. All good. How are you, mate? How's STRIX with you? Life treating you well? How's the world of chefing? You've been busy? I bet it'd be a nightmare to work in a kitchen on an evening like this with the temperatures as we've got, wouldn't it? You use this tractor on Alma. Are you on about this one or the International that I've just shown you, Davies? Either one's great though. I do love a 9RX, especially with the wider foot, the wider track as well. Definitely one of my favourites for sure. But yeah, this is a beast of a plough. LR modding, if anyone's interested. It's I don't know. I've always preferred this style of plough, as it were, like this the wide straight ones as opposed to the traditional furrowed plough. Can't say why. This has just been always been my preferred option. So it's just nice to have a decent one like this to get to work on this gorgeous map. Last time you show this map and farm, you're like, I jump into my save and move to the next farm not far from this one. Oh, the International, Davies. Nice one, mate. Yeah. You finally got rid of your old PC, have you, Leroy? Have you got you've got rid of the old one, but have you got a new one, dare I ask? I'm assuming, I can only assume that you have. What have you replaced it with, if you have replaced it? Go on. You know, I'm a bit of a computer geek, so do let me know what have you upgraded to. Yeah, it's a beast of a setup, Davies, isn't it? It really is. I do have stones turned on though. I thought I'd turn those off. Do you know what? I think it's just because I've been back in 2 all afternoon today on here and on the multiplayer server version, and I think I turned stones off on the multiplayer server, but forgot to turn them off on here before digging the plough out. Oops. Anyway. So yeah, so we got this ploughing job to do. I want to get this done. I'm doing this so that we don't get any weeds in the field in the future. And the field that we've got, you can see over in the distance there, that has some sorghum in, so we've got potential opportunity to get a bit of a sorghum harvest going on. We have of course got JOS Moddings extended straw crops mod running on the save, so we'll be able to get some straw off of that if need be. And we also do have a field of alfalfa just there to the side of the farm there that needs cutting, so plenty to crack on with, that's for sure. We're not going to be short on work. But yeah, right, so There we go. Get that one picked up. I must admit, I'm starting to get a lot more... I know it's been around since the day the game was released, for goodness sake, but I've very rarely used the steering assist additions or anything like that. But these last couple of weeks, since doing a couple more live streams than I normally do, I have been enjoying using it, and it's so user-friendly and simple, wouldn't you say? It's really good. Jacob Magner, FARMERSIM, how do you get the time and the patience to do 3 to 4 hour job, 30 minutes for me, and I give up? It's part of the game, isn't it, mate? When you've got a big farm with big fields, you just got to get it done, haven't you? And I love this game. You know, patience kind of comes with the territory, I feel. Even doing it on Courseplay, it's still, whether you're doing it yourself or whether you set Courseplay off or an AI worker to do the job, it still takes the same amount of time, doesn't it? It's and maybe I'm a sucker, I'm a glutton for punishment, I suppose, because I do like making big fields on maps. I haven't done any field customization on this particular save, but for example, I posted a video a couple of weeks ago. It was literally just a relatively quick 5 or 6 minute cinematic on this map of a corn harvest that I did over in the north of the map. It would jump into the PDA, I'll show you what I did. But I'd started off on Wild Prairie Ranch over here. It was not long after the map first came out, and what I did was I joined together 83, 84, 68, 69 and 75, this whole thing here. So if any of you did watch that cinematic that I made, that was this whole, all 5 of these fields joined together to make one massive field. And I ploughed it together using one giant John Deere 9RX with this 8-metre plough, and then cultivated it, and then limed it, and drilled it, and then fast forwarded time so the harvest, the yield was perfect on the harvest. Even though it made no difference to the outcome of the video, I still wanted to do it because I was enjoying this map so much after it had first come out, and I was very fortunate that DJ Modding had sent me a copy of it before it had been officially released. So I was just kind of sitting here all on my own one weekend, just thoroughly engrossed in this wonderful map that at the time nobody had, and it was mega. So I just lost myself for hours. That harvest, using 2 harvesters, running a 9RX again, actually running a big grain cart and a lorry going back to the Jack Daniel's whiskey distillery that's on the map. It was about 5 hours, I think. It was massive, and yeah. But I just really enjoy it. I just lose myself in it. It's great fun. It really is. It's one of the most relaxing. It is the most relaxing game I've ever played, and that's one of the reasons why I absolutely love it, and why I chose to start doing what I do here for you guys here on YouTube, because I just found my passion for it. What can I say? Hey up, Dinky, how are you, mate? Did you get on the server all right? Well, you did, didn't you? You put a comment over on Discord, didn't you? But did it work all right in the end? Hey up, Ron. No apology necessary, mate. You're all good. You're all good, bud. How's STRIX? Hope you're well. Courseplay and auto drive. That's right, Dutch. Courseplay and auto drive. Yeah, no need to apologise at all, Ron, my friend. You're not late at all. Right, let's get that span around. So what's everyone got planned for this weekend then? Anything fun? Get that drop there. I actually plan on having a relatively relaxing weekend if I can. That's my idea. The last couple of days I've actually, for the first time in a very, very, very long, I'm talking years, I actually turned on another computer game, shock horror. Re-downloaded a couple of games that I've had in my collection on Steam that I just haven't had the disk space for initially. That's what I did, because I finally deleted FARMERSIM 22 and the 160 odd gigabytes worth of mods that I had in the mod folder for FARMERSIM 22. And all of a sudden I had several hundred gigabytes worth of free space on my gaming hard drive, so I was like, ooh, So I re-downloaded Cyberpunk, I've re-downloaded the remake of Dead Space, which was way back in the day. Dead Space was one of my... I lost myself for an extremely long time playing that game. I adored it. Just sitting there in the dark, getting terrified, shooting horrible monsters on a space station. It was great. So yeah, but I've actually spent a few hours these last few days actually just doing something else for a change, which was really quite a nice change, if I'm honest. Your plan is to sit on the server for the next month? Nice. That sounds good, mate. That sounds good. Afternoon, Swanee. How are you, mate? You okay? Good to see you. Appreciate you joining us on your Friday evening, mate. You saw that I was playing it on Discord while we were chatting, yeah. What, Dead Space? Run? I mean, I suppose games are entirely subjective, aren't they? You either like them or you don't. But Dead Space, if you are talking about Dead Space, it's the one in particular. I mean, I played the original. The original is quite a few years old now, but there was a complete redo of Dead Space released a couple of years ago, completely remade from the ground up, not just a high definition, revamp of the original. It's been completely redone. And I bought it ages ago, not long after it first came out, and I never actually properly played it because I was so deep into Farming Simulator. So I just kind of put it on the back burner, and I was like, you know what? Now I've got a bit of disk space, I'm going to turn it on. And sure enough, turned it on, and then before I knew it was like 2-3 hours later, I was like, oh god. When you just properly lose yourself in the game. Yeah, it's a really good game, Ron. I've got to say, it's if you like being, it's a survival horror set in space in the future. It's just really quite cool. Love it. That's all I can say. Hey up, Sin. How are you, mate? You okay? Good to see you, pal. How's things with you, man? You all right? Rescue Plays. Hello, mate. Hope you're well. Jacques de Toit. Am I pronouncing that correctly? I hope. Forgive me. Just realised you're live. Silly me. Hi to all from coolish South Africa. Love all around. Looking forward to the stream. Thank you, mate. Appreciate you joining us. Hope all's well with you. Andreas, you have a party tomorrow. Your oldest daughter finished school. Goodness me. She finished school today and she starts a job on Monday. There's no rest there, is there? A very quick 2-day weekend in between. That's awesome, mate. So you got a bit of a celebratory weekend ahead of you, Andreas. That's nice. Hope you have a good time, bud. Really do. You'll be spending a lot of time healing and getting high on morphine for your knee. Yeah, mate. Knee surgery, eh? That's a big job, bud. That's a big job. Well, I can only wish you the speediest of recoveries, Dinky, but that does mean that you've got a lot of time ahead of you to enjoy some Farming Simulator, doesn't it? Good job we just started that server today, isn't it? There you go. If you were stuck for something to do, you can get yourself deeply engrossed in that server if you haven't got anything else, mate. By all means. You've been taking a break from FS for a little while. How's the game these days? It's honestly, it's really, really good. There's been some cracking maps and cracking mods released in the last few weeks and months. This one, of course. This is DJ Moddings Judith Plains, if you weren't already aware. A 4X PC-only map based in Montana. And it is fast becoming one of my absolute favourite maps. Again, I'm repeating myself here. I know I've said this on previous streams, but I've been a massive fan of DJ Modding for way back into FarmSim 22 when he released Green Valley, Nebraska, and I just love the way he builds his maps. For me, they're just perfect. So yeah, we've had this FarmSim Briscoe, who was in the chat before. He is currently working very, very hard on a new UK-based map called Saxingham. He has been releasing the odd video now and again on his channel. to update us all, and that is looking. Again, I've been very fortunate that FARMERSIM Briscoe has been sending me the odd sneak peek with a couple of screenshots here and there, and it is looking gorgeous. It is looking absolutely beautiful. The amount of time that FARMERSIM Briscoe puts into the detail on his maps is literally bang on. It's amazing. It really is. The level of stuff that he's taught himself using Blender and all the different 3D modeling software that he would use to make, you know, the assets for your maps and stuff like that. He's taught himself so much over the last few years, and it's honestly, Saxlingham is looking amazing. So keep your eyes peeled for that one, ladies and gentlemen. It's we can't say when it will be ready yet, of course, because maps will be ready when they are ready, as is the case with any mod or map in FARMERSIM. But he has said that he is relatively close, so very exciting. Cannot wait for that. Per Rodolph Adelson, hello mate, hope you're good. Appreciate you joining us, buddy. How's things? You alright? Precision Farming and the Prairie Pack have been released, that's right, Sin. The 4X US map sounds interesting, mate. It's really good, and this one is full of loads of unique productions. So I mean, I've never really been massively into productions. I've always used one of them or a couple of them now and again, but it's just never really been my thing. It's never really floated my boat. I've always just stuck with the traditional method of farming, just doing field work and throwing product into a silo and selling it, and occasionally doing something with it after the fact. But you know, like, you've got your milk productions and stuff to make cheese and earn money from and stuff, but it's never really been my thing. But on this map, he's added so many unique new productions to it, and it just makes it, and because they're built into the map so well and they just suit the surroundings, for me it just works, and it makes me want to do them. So for example, you've got whiskey production, there's an actual Jack Daniel's liveried whiskey factory up towards the centre of the map. There's a Youngling beer, I hope I'm not pronouncing that incorrectly, a Youngling beer factory that you can throw a load of produce into and get beer out the other end. And there's a handful of other things as well, and again, it's just the details. There's a McDonald's on the map. You can't necessarily do much with it. It's not like you can go in and buy yourself a burger or anything, but it's just the fact that there is a proper 3D modelled McDonald's and a Tim Hortons, and there's another one as well. I forgot the name, or forgive me. But yeah, there's proper real life places on the map, and it's that kind of detail and that level of immersion that just makes you go, yeah, I want to play that map. And it's really, really good. And I've just found myself wanting to come on here and just dither around. That's what I've been doing occasionally the last couple of days, and just enjoying it for a bit instead of just having to focus solely on what's on my next video, when am I making my next video. I've just, you know, hence why I'm doing this recording now, because I've just because in the world of content creating, and it's really important, I've found, and I've learnt this, not to burn yourself out. It was advice given to me by the one and the only FARMERSIM guy when I first started doing this. He was very kind enough to offer some extremely helpful guidance and advice when I started out on my my YouTube career, as it were. And yeah, it was one of the first bits of information and stuff that he told me to, you know, be mindful of, is not to burn yourself out. Don't, you know, it's better to make one good video instead of 5 terrible ones, kind of thing, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so that's why I'd kind of unintentionally just given myself these last few days just to wind down a bit. And plus, it was Mrs. FARMERSIM's birthday on Monday, just gone, so she'd booked this week off, and so that kind of threw my usual schedule of stuff out the window a bit, because she was off work for a bit. So we've been spending a bit of quality time, as opposed to just both of us sitting here working and making videos and all this kind of stuff. So it's just been a bit of a different week. So yeah, today they have released new old tractors. I download it straight away. We have the Volvo BM2654 4-wheel drive. I do like those old Volvo BM tractors. They are quite nice, aren't they? The similar to the ones that were released on Silver Run Forest. I guess I need to reboot FS. Enjoying the game makes for better content. It shows when they're creative. Yeah, completely agree, Sin. No, that's right. It's I have experienced it before, where you feel, you know, oh, I need to make a video because obviously I've tried very hard since I started doing this whole YouTube thing to have a video released on a Monday, a Wednesday, and a Friday, to keep the algorithm happy, so that, you know, to give myself something to work towards. But every now and again, something will come about where I'll find myself making a video for the purposes of making a video. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I've got to make a video because I've got to have something out on Wednesday night or Thursday or Friday night. And I have been guilty of that once or twice before, and I've made the video and it's turned out okay. Sometimes thankfully, most of the time, they've been successful within the confines of my little channel. It's been successful. It's been great. But I've known in the back of my mind, I feel like I rushed that particular video because I was aiming to have some content out. Not, do you know what I mean? Am I making sense? It's, you know, instead of making a really, really good video, I've made a video, and it's just been one of them. So this whole YouTube thing, it's a learning curve, constantly a learning curve, and that's one of the reasons why I enjoy it so much, because no one is perfect at YouTube. In a way, it's a constantly evolving thing. You constantly need to have your eye on the ball, so to speak, because the algorithm changes, the certain things change within the world of YouTube. YouTube changes how certain things work, and you've got to kind of keep up to date with it all. So God moves in mysterious ways. The birthday week was all right, thanks, Ron. Yeah, it was nice. It was nice and relaxing. It was just a little bit different, like I said, because we were both just, well, for Mrs. FARMERSIM anyway, she had some very well-deserved but very rarely taken time off. She's a very busy lady, and she very, very rarely has any kind of time off. She works from home most of the time, 99% of the time, but she works 12-hour days. She just lives with her laptop and her phone in front of her. The phone never stops ringing, and it's a very, very, very busy, very highly demanding job. So she was feeling pretty burnt out herself. So but the annoying thing was, she had booked this week off like weeks ago because she knew it was her birthday and she wanted to have this time off. And several weeks before this week, one of her most awkward clients and customers, then she needed to have a meeting with this particular customer, and the only day that this particular customer, who's been very difficult to pin down and get into this meeting, the only day he was available to have this meeting was on the 9th of June, which is Mrs. FARMERSIM's birthday, Monday. So regrettably, after all this time of looking forward to having one whole week off of just absolute relaxation, on her birthday of all days, she had to... So basically what happened was, she had to prep for the meeting, which took several hours. So basically Monday, which was her birthday, she wrote it off, so she cancelled it. So we literally didn't do her birthday till Tuesday, which is a bit of a shame, really, isn't it? But she had to have this meeting, apparently. There was no going back. She had to have this important meeting with this particular guy. So yeah, so we put all the birthday stuff away until Tuesday and did it all then, the day later, which was a bit crazy. So I remember when Volvo 2650 came out, it was huge, but in FARMERSIM it's under small tractors. I must admit, that is something I've always found about the game, is the sense of scale. Even small tractors within the small tractor section, when you see them in real life, they're gigantic things, and you just think, hang on a minute, something doesn't feel right. I know in the world of tractors, of whatever might be in the small tractor section is termed as a small tractor, because there are, above it, there are medium and large ones, but they're still vast, and the player size scale of your actual character, I think, is well off, I think. You think FS25 should be PC focused only, do you, Jeff? Well, I mean, it's a difficult one, that, because, I mean, Giants have got to include console players. Yes, it does put a bottleneck, although, I mean, it kind of doesn't, in a way. One of my good friends plays Farming Simulator 25 on his PlayStation 5, and he's a relative newcomer to the game, and we're always talking about it. He's never been into this kind of computer game before. Normally we just talk about cars and stuff like that, but now we have another similarity, which is this game. And so he's constantly asking for my advice. So what do I do when I've done this? Or because he's on PlayStation and he's still getting to grips with the game, he doesn't have all the tools available to, like, super strength and all this kind of stuff. So he'll buy a lorry, for example, load it up and a big low loader, load it up with about 19 tractors and a combine harvester, so it looks completely crazy, and then wonder why it's just toppled over and he's got to reset all of its machinery. But yeah, I mean, it's not that the game should be PC focused, because PC players in their own little world, like I am here, we're absolutely fine. We've got everything that we need. PC mods are available for PC, console mods are available for all of us, and it's the console players who technically miss out on all the fun stuff because they're playing on console and they can't have the big maps, the 4X maps, and bigger, the script mods, universal auto load, course play, auto drive, all that kind of stuff. They can't enjoy those because they're on console, and that's, as we all know, that's down to Sony and Microsoft, isn't it? That's not Giants saying you can't have these. That's the big companies putting restrictions on changing, and I get it. It's because their online servers have to work properly, don't they? And they can't have base game files being different on each individual system, otherwise their servers would have a meltdown. They wouldn't know what to do with themselves, would they? And yes, Sin, you're absolutely right there. That's a very, very good point. As wonderful as this game is on PC, the bigger market is actually consoles, regardless of the fact that the game is, infinitely better playing it on PC because of the availability of all these wonderful things. The reality is, consoles are still a bigger market because they're generally, as a rule, they're just easier to work with and easier to own, because it's just a one-size-fits-all box of computer games, isn't it? At the end of the day, you turn it on, you might need an update now and again, but apart from that, you buy a game, turn it on, play the game, job done. It's, you haven't got to faff around with, I've got to upgrade my graphics card, or I've just had a stick of RAM go bad, or I've got to change out my thermal paste or anything like that. The maintenance that comes with owning a half-decent computer system is considerably bigger and more hands-on than just owning a console, I suppose. The scale isn't that far off, to be honest, but more so how the camera interacts with the player and makes the scaling off. Yeah, valid point, mate, valid point. Yeah. I must admit, that is something I do quite a lot, is I muck around with the FOV settings in the game, because that always bugs me. Every time I start a video or a recording or a live stream, for example, all of the machinery I'm in here, I have the interior FOV set to 75, because it just, for me, it's just better. It works. You're not sat too far forward. Stop resetting your dead zones to 14%. Is that on your joysticks and stuff, is it, Swiss? Or your gamepads and stuff? I must admit that's something I've never had a problem with either. I play on a PS4 controller, and I've customised the steering sensitivity and the dead zones and all that kind of stuff. And up to now, touch wood, throughout the several patches that FARMERSIM 25 has had so far, I've never had them reset, which is great, which I'm really quite grateful for. That's a big gin and tonic. Honestly, I kind of wish it was, mate. It's just good old boring council pop, unfortunately, mate. It's yeah, gin and tonic, bloody hell. A pint of it. Can you imagine that? No, I don't drink that often, so it's the last time the last thing I'd want to do is have a drink on a live stream, because I don't drink that often. My tolerance is probably, well, there's no probably about it, my tolerance to alcohol is very, very low, even though I am something of a large, tall human being. Yeah, you don't want me drunk live on the internet, do you? That would be a nightmare. Get that drop, there we go. This hasn't taken us too long. I know I've still got a whole load to do on the other side as well. Your first FS was FARMERSIM 2013, was it, Lee? Wow. You've been with the franchise for a very long time then, haven't you, mate? My first was FARMERSIM 19. That was when I first found the game, and then found this wonderful little community that exists over here on YouTube. And a couple of years later, here I am doing it for myself. Because I mean that is literally just an example of just how much passion I developed for the game after finding it. Because I was just bored. I was getting bored of the video games I was playing at the time. I wanted something that was just like this, just relaxing. I was getting fed up of the, you know, the sweaty palmed, running around shooting people in the face kind of computer game and all that kind of stuff. I was just getting a bit sick of it all, and I knew I just wanted something that was just the dictionary definition of relaxation. And that's what I found in this, and it really is. It really is the most wonderful game, and it was very weird, like I said before, that I'd spent a bit of time these last couple of days actually going back and playing one or two other computer games, albeit only for a few hours, but still playing another game other than Farming Simulator. It was a very, very weird experience, because it has literally been years since I've done it. It took me a little bit of time just to get used to the fact that I wasn't driving a tractor. And I was actually, you know, engrossed in a space station shooting zombies in the face. But it was more, part of it as well was an exercise in, I wanted to appreciate what my latest graphics card is capable of doing, because FARMERSIM is a really, really difficult game to get for performance. It's very, very demanding on your computer. Yes, I'm very fortunate that I can run FARMERSIM on this particular computer with this setup really quite well. Visually, it looks quite well performance-wise, but that's only because of FSR3 frame generation. If I turn FSR3 off, as you can see, I've got two numerical readings there on the top right-hand corner from the FPS reading. If I turn FSR3 off, this will sit at about 30 frames a second. And it's like, it's a 24 gig graphics card with, you know, it's got 24 gig of VRAM. Admittedly, my processors are, it's only a Ryzen 7 5800, so that's a bit of a bottleneck. But I've got 64 gig of RAM, I've got a 24 gig graphics card, I've got a gigabit internet connection and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, it should be able to smash a game like this, but it doesn't, because of the way FARMERSIM is, just because of the game engine and all that kind of stuff. No, you got too old to play those games. You got owned by sweaty teens. Honestly, I'd like to say that was the reason, Dutch, but I never really did multiplayer or anything like that. No, I think the first part of your comment was right. I just got too old for them. Hey, here she is. Alright, Kimber. How are you, love? Hang on a minute. Two things at once here. See, I'm always getting told that I suffer from skill issues, but here I am. Two things at once. Oh, hang on a minute. Need to make a couple of people admins. Win and Dutch. Okay. Do you need me to do that, or can you do that? Do I need to do that? You can do that on the add them to the thingy section Kim, if that's all right. And give them the admin password that's in there. That's no problem at all. Well, there you go. There's the... We're having some issues on the multiplayer server already. It's never straightforward. It is, I'll tell you what though, it is a relatively sizable task setting up and maintaining the administration for a multiplayer server. It's a massive thing. Skill issue if I can't do that, mate. Yeah, it's a pretty big job. It does take quite a long time, because I've had, you know, like I said about the multiplayer, you would need to be made an admin first, but I'm also at work. Right, okay. Okie dokie dokie. Let's see if I can do this here now. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to manage to do all of this at once. Your first map was Hangstead. Oh, was that on FS13, Lee? Hangstead. Right, let's see what I can do here. How much of this field have we got left to do here now? Not too much. Oh, there is a skill issue. Yeah, I'm going to struggle to do all of this in one go, because as soon as I need to drop out, message you the login details. If you're on about the admin password, Kim, it's in a pinned message in the that you'll be able to see in the server admin section on the Discord, if that makes any sense. Get back to work. Fortunately, she is her own boss. MK Gaming Wolf, hello mate. I'm doing alright, thank you buddy, I'm doing very well. I'm very, very warm in this room. It's been very warm in the UK today. Or it's felt very warm. It's been about 22, 23 degrees, but it's felt about 30 odd, and it's proper muggy, because I've got this room all closed off so that I don't get disturbed by noise on the outside, so to speak, my dog and all that kind of stuff. And I'm closed in by this big black curtain at the back behind me, which isn't the most helpful of things when it comes to heat management. It's bloody hot. That's all I can say. It's really, really hot. Right, let's drop that down. Swiss Sim Gamer, mate, thank you so much. That's very generous, buddy. Thank you very much. Very kind of you, mate. Appreciate that. Really appreciate that. Add them to the thingy section. I didn't have that on my bingo card on how to promote people to positions of power. Hey Hazard, how are you, mate? Hope all's good. How are you doing, buddy? Hope all's well with you, mate. Do you know what? I thoroughly enjoy your posts over on the Discord for the in the FARMERSIM media section with your photographs. They are. That's another wonderful thing that FARMERSIM can be, just on its own, is just a wonderful photograph creator. It makes some brilliant screenshots, doesn't it? It really does. But yeah, I'm a big fan of your work, mate. You're a bit of a genius with reshade, aren't you? Let's be honest. There we go. And I've spent a lot of time on with your preset running as well. And for photographs, it's brilliant. But for me and for the gameplay, with all the bloom and occasion all that kind of stuff and the ray tracing, it takes too much performance off the game. So I'm always fettling around with the in the presets of reshade, just turning this off and turning that off. But yeah. Have I heard of Friend Bus Simulator? I don't think I have, mate. I don't think I have. Hey Rion, how you doing, mate? How are you? How's you and Mr. Welsh doing? You all right? Are you down in Tenby now? You guys are off for a family weekend break, aren't you? Enjoying yourself? Hey, evening, Mark. How are you, pal? You all right? How's STRIX? We've got the multiplayer server up and running. Appreciate your help and advice earlier on today, mate. Very much appreciated. It's a big thing, isn't it? Maintaining and running and looking after a multiplayer server and getting it working. Bloody hell. It's a lot of work, isn't it? It really is. I had a whole load of mod requests, so I downloaded those all and put them onto the server, and you obviously have to, every time I had to make sure that the server worked, because I'd announced that the server was going live at 5 o'clock, so I had to make sure that it worked. The last thing I'd want at 5 to 5 is to find the server didn't work, and I had to figure out what dodgy mod was causing the problem. So anyway, yeah, I'd done all that. But there's a lot of time involved in it, isn't there? Let's be honest. It's until you actually do it yourself, I'd never really appreciated the sheer time that really goes into setting up a multiplayer server. So yeah, hats off to you, mate. I know you are considerably more experienced than I am in that field, hence why I came to you for a bit of advice and guidance earlier on, didn't I? But yeah, I've just had a message off Kim saying, is there any chance? Oh, here she is. Right, sorted. No, Kim, thank you, mate. I appreciate you sorting that. I literally, when you said you could do with my help trying to sort it, I was just literally like, I don't know. I dare say skill issue, and I will get on a paddle boat and I'll come over there and I'll sort you out. But no, I appreciate that, mate. Thank you for sorting it, Kim. Very much appreciated. I'm interested to know what had happened, in all honesty. You've done 9 holes of golf and a pint afterwards. Mate, what a perfect day to spoil a perfectly good walk. Eh? My mum's something of a golfist. She's been... golf's been in the family for years, actually. My grandmother was a keen golfist, and now my mum is following in her footsteps with her collection of bats stood in a bag by the front door. It's a good game. Me and my mates used to love going to the driving range, and we did do a few rounds of 18 holes. But it's an expensive thing. There's a couple of golf courses around here that they're a little bit posh, like very what, and the amount of money in yearly membership fees to be a member at one of these posh Cheshire golf clubs is literally ridiculous, quite frankly. There's no shame in delegating. How was your round of golf? A paddle boat, yes. Where do you intend to land at? Halifax. Just oh, you know what I mean, mate. Well, listen, I appreciate your help and sorting out whatever has gone wrong in the server, mate. I'm keen to know what had actually gone wrong, or was it a lack of admins at a particular time? Because that is something that we're going to have to sort out. But yeah, mate, thank you very, very much for sorting it. I appreciate you very much. It cost you £1,000 a year. Mother of God, that's an expensive hobby. Wow. £1,000 a year. That's your golf membership, I take it, for your local club. Bloody hell. Yep, that's out of my reach. Driving ranges are now so expensive, are they? I must admit, we've got one 5 minutes down the road. It's I've not been there for ages. What am I using? You like the look of this? This is the John Deere 915 Ripper by LR Modding. I'll fire it over to you later, mate. It's a beast. You need 550 healthy ponies to run this thing, but it's a real beast, isn't it? It's awesome. I've just missed a bit. Shocking. That doesn't include the cost of the balls that you lose. Brilliant. Yeah. I'd be doing a lot of that. I have always enjoyed golf, though. I have always enjoyed playing it when we did play it. It is good fun. And on a lovely day like today, this is perfect golf weather, let's be. Although down here in Cheshire it was a bit windy, so that might have you might have had to allow for a bit of a wind there. All good here, thanks. Sitting in the glamping pod in Tenby. Excellent, mate. Good to hear it. Well, say hello to your dad for me and your mum. I hope you're having a lovely time. Can I put this plough on the server? I think it should already. I thought I'd already put it on the server, if I'm honest, Charlie. Maybe I didn't, but yes, that will be something that we can put onto the server if I haven't. But like I mentioned in a bit of text on the Discord, I'm not too sure when the next time is that I'll put another batch of mods on there, purely because it means turning it off. So there'll be a time and a place when I announce that I'll turn the server off to add in a few more mods. So yeah, because I'm really hoping that the server that we've created on here over on my Discord can become one of these really busy hive of activities, as it were. Because I've seen there's other folks who've got servers, obviously the likes of the FARMERSIM guy, who Mark is quite heavily involved with his admin side of things. Some of the servers that he's had going in the past they've just seemed and appeared to be just wonderful, really busy, constantly busy. In fact, at some point, and I'm really hoping that the one that we've created on my server can be something a little similar, maybe. I hope. Maybe, over time. FS Farmer, hello mate. Hope you're well. Hope all's good for you, pal. I think it is, Charlie. You've got me wondering now. I think it is. It should be. I'm sure I would have wanted to put it on there. You may or may not make an appearance on the server tomorrow and get your goblin on. Get your goblin on. Love it. Well, you're more than welcome, my friend. And if you do, let me know, because I might have a go at that. I might jump on myself as well. I was considering having a couple of days off this weekend from Farming Simulator and enjoying a little bit of another couple of video games that I've finally downloaded. But I would like to jump on there as well and do a bit, as it were. So yeah, let me know when you do. You may well jump on there. That's me for this night. It's 10 PM in Sweden and tomorrow is a busy day. Thank you for a good live stream. Take care and good night. No problem at all, Andreas. I really appreciate you joining us for a bit, mate. Good to have you on board. Good to have you on board. I hope you have a lovely weekend, mate. Right, there we go. Get this last headland done, and then I will go round and pick up all the bits that I've missed, because you just can't have that, can you? Let's be honest. Can't be missing bits. Just put my chair in a bit closer there. And especially on the corners. Right, so I know I should have really lifted that tool up then. It's right messy when you don't lift it up when you try and turn. The main thing is I've got all the bits I needed to get. You've been playing Skyrim, have you, Cher? That's what Mrs. FARMERSIM is currently playing as we speak, up there, in her own little space, away from me, doing this here. She plays Elder Scrolls Online. She did Skyrim, the main game. She did that to death for several years, and then decided she wanted to have a go at ESO, and then ever since she's never put it down. Okay, I'll give you a shout if I do. Going to go into lurk mode. I've got some vinyl prints I want to go cut out and play with. Mate, no problem at all. Yet again, thank you very much for sorting that out on the server, mate. I appreciate you more than you know, mate. You are a legend. How long are you going to be on? I got 4 more hours to drive. I'm just taking my break quick. It won't be in the next 4... Oh, you mean on here, Trucker Drone? What time is it now? It's 9 o'clock. Probably, I'll only be on here till about, probably around 10 o'clock-ish, I think, give or take a bit, mate. Yeah, I haven't got the stamina in me to do a 4 or 5 hour live stream. I'll tell you what, though, one thing I was in great admiration of last week, one of my friends and content creators, Farmer Mike, who recently, his YouTube channel crossed over the thread. He hit 1,000 subs. And when he hit 1,000 subs, he committed to a 10 or 12 hour live stream? It was a long one, 10 or 12 hour live stream, which I thought was absolutely incredible. It really was. And he did it. Hats off to him. I couldn't do that, I don't think. Maybe it's just because it's too hot in this room right now anyway to even consider sitting here for 12 hours. But yeah, a 12 hour live stream, which I thought was amazing. It really was. There we go. Have I played Roadcraft? I have not played Roadcraft, MK Gaming. I know Argsy has been playing Roadcraft. I've seen him do a couple of his Tuesday morning streams appear in my feed on this new game, and it seems to be quite popular, I think. It seems to be grabbing a lot of people's interest anyway, doesn't it? Oh, because this is my last trip around this field, I don't want to be leaving bits. Yes, the Ripper is on the server. Thanks, Cranky. Nice one, mate. Are you on the server, mate? Have you been on there? There we go. It is a cracking thing. It really is, this Ripper. It's mega. You did hang on, what? You did 69 hours over on the TOC once. Never. You're kidding me. 69 hours? What did you do for 69 hours? You streamed for 69 hours? Surely not. That's amazing if you did. What did you do for 69 hours? That's amazing. Right, let's try and pick up these last few bits on this field. You used to do 10 plus hours live streams all the time, but now 5 or 6 is my lot. It may be your age. Goodness me, FS Farmer. Nice one, Cranky. That's awesome, mate. Wow, Trucker Drone. Hats off to you, mate. Admiration and all that. That's an achievement. That really is. I think the longest I've done a live stream for on Farming Simulator. See, the heat is getting to me. The longest I've done one on Farming Simulator, I think, was probably about 3 hours, maybe three and a bit, perhaps. I think that was back in Farm Sim 22 with Mrs. SG, I think. And that's quite a, for me, that's a long time. But I suppose each to their own, I guess, isn't it? Each to their own. Right, let's just try and tidily get this. Oh, we've still got a couple of patches there, haven't we? We'll have to get them at the very end. But we can't have little bits like this left behind, can we? It's just not right, let's be honest. Oh, that is annoying when you leave a tiny little bit. And there we go. Let's get it picked up so we can turn around a bit quicker. Grab that bit along the edge there. Yeah, you're right, actually, Mark. FSG's 100k was quite a long one, wasn't it? That was 3 and a bit hours, maybe. But that was... the time passed. I had no idea. Even if that was 3 or 4 hours, I wouldn't have had a clue because the time passed so quickly. That was... We repeat ourselves here, don't we? But that was one of the most hilarious, fun times I've ever had on this game. Food! Now see you soon. No problem at all, mate. Go eat. Enjoy. Yeah, FSG's live stream was 100,000 live stream ages ago was something else. It really was. Absolutely mega. There we go. Right, so that's that job almost finished, I think. Only a couple of very tiny patches to pick up. And then we will need to gather at some point. I won't be doing that now, but we will need to get these stones picked up, won't we? And then that'll be this field ready for a fresh crop. Right, let's get that span around. Pick up that bit there, and then I think once now this is done, we can move on and go. I think we'll go and do a harvest. I feel it's the right thing to do, or make a start on the harvest actually. In fact, no, we'll go and do the alfalfa. We did a harvest in the last live stream. We'll potentially do, because I think if I start to cut this alfalfa, we'll then need to row it up, we'll need to bale it up. I do have all that equipment. We've got the mower, we've got a merger, and we've got the old John Deere baler as well, which will do the job perfectly fine. You aim to do a 12-hour charity stream for the Dogs Trust soon to celebrate 1,000 subs. Mate, that's awesome. That really is awesome. Good on you. Right, let's turn that off. Reset. Okay, get rid of those lines just so they don't appear. There we go. Nice. Right, and now we can pop this away for now. But I'm not going to abandon it. I'm going to pop it away tidily. There we are. I don't know why, but for some, obviously, well, this ripper is too big for any of the doorways in any of my available workshops, apart from the one that I've got the big Seed Hawk parked in at the minute, of course. But the Seed Hawk's there, so the ripper won't go there. But it's too big for the width of any of the other doors, so it has to live outside. I do love these workshops that DJ Moddings created. They're so full of colour and detail and life that, yeah, they really are something quite special, let's be honest. So, alfalfa, that's what we want to do now. So I think what we might do, oh, I'll tell you what I do want to show you actually very quickly. If you saw my last episode on here, the live stream last week, if any of you aren't aware of the existence of this truck, it's called Project Pete by Expendables Modding, available from Expendable Dirk's itch.io page, and it is an absolute beauty. Now, one of the things I couldn't show you before last week is one of the features that it has is you can turn it on and it plays music. Now, the standard one plays, it's a mashup of Warren G. Regulate and a country music singer. I don't know his name. It might be Morgan Waller, perhaps, perhaps, I'm not too sure. But when you turn the truck on and you turn the stereo system on, it plays that music. Now, I can't play that music because of copyright reasons. So I have had a bit of a fiddle and I've replaced the music. So essentially, excuse the volume, but you see what I mean about the detail. Look at the speakers. All the speakers in the cab above me there. It's mega. And you get out of the cab and you can still hear your music playing, and you get further away. And I think it's proper brilliant, this mod. It really is. So like I say, I wanted to show you. There you go. I'll turn it off because it's quite loud. But yeah, it's got air suspension, this truck. You can lower it and raise it on air shocks. It's really, really cool. So I painted it from the silvery grey colour that it was last week. I've just spent a load of time just dithering around with that as well. Hey up, Welsh. How are you, pal? Evening. Yes, please hit the like button, if you don't mind, ladies and gentlemen. We've got 69 people currently viewing at the minute and only 33 likes, so please do hit that like button if it's no trouble. Yeah, all good, thank you, buddy. How are you? How's Tenby? Hope you're enjoying yourself. You got there safely, I hope, of course. Right, what we are going to jump in, we're going to jump in our little... it's a 1455 XL, but it's not the case coloured one. It's an international coloured one. So we're going to jump in this little beauty for this next job, and we're going to go and cut ourselves our alfalfa. The nearest you got to golf was when your brother hit you with a 7-iron. Goodness me. That must have hurt. Right, let's get this thing shifted out of the way so I can get to my mower. There we go. That'll do just fine. It's a lovely little tractor, this. I've always been a fan of the 1455. And when I saw this one, it just, again, with it being in the international colours instead of the traditional case colours, I had to have it. That's all I can say. Right, so, off to the alfalfa field. Make sure we don't crash into anything there on the way out. There we are. Hey, virtual farming life. How are you, mate? How's STRIX, buddy? Good to see you. Good to see you. How's things with you, mate? You alright? Yeah, we used to play golf quite a little bit, actually, me and a few of my friends. Dinky. Used to be something we did enjoy as a bit of a frivolous hobby back in the day, but I haven't done it for ages. It's my mum who does all that now. Yeah, let's get ourselves our first cut of alfalfa. Ben Bradley just got here. Couldn't get home before 3, so I stay on now. I'll go back to the beginning. Entirely up to you, mate. Stay on now if you want, and rewind back a bit when it's done, perhaps. It's entirely up to you. There we go. I'll tell you what, though, before we do crack on with this, the alfalfa, the custom alfalfa texture that's on this map is the detail. Really, really nice. Exceptional. Slightly moist. Is it raining? Down there. Just got home from a work thing, so you're just relaxing now. Well, it's lovely to have you here, VFL. It's good to see you, buddy. So yeah, I'm getting our first cut of alfalfa out of this field now. I don't think the yield's going to be massive because it's just how the game gave it to us, but I wanted to record, but I'm too exhausted. Yeah, I kind of talked a little bit about that earlier on in the stream, actually. Yeah, the importance of making videos when you're in the right mindset to do it, not rushing it, and not. And I was only talking from my own experience in that, you know, making videos for the sake of making videos, and instead of making a video like, you know, so you're not so you're not just trying to meet a deadline, I think is so important. It really is. I am going to take on board your comment that you left on one of my videos the other day, VFL, regarding considering not expanding, but considering maybe having a look at doing some of the more rarely done crops in FARMERSIM, spinach and peas and all that kind of stuff. So I just maybe it's just my play style or whatever, I don't know, but I don't really tend to have bothered with them much. But I think you're right, it'd be a good idea to consider doing something like that maybe in the future on somewhere like Oak Bridge or over on Palanier perhaps, or something. I don't know, it's weird, but yeah, it was food for thought. Your comment made me think, so I'm very grateful for that, mate. Thank you, appreciate it. But yeah, we'll see how far we get with this field. Obviously we will need to we'll get it cut. We'll see where time has taken us when come to need to consider getting the merger out, and then after that we'll need to obviously get them baled up. And I have started to really get accustomed and used to side mowers like this, for example. And again, I've just because of the way I've always liked to play, I've generally, as a rule, I've always stuck with the traditional butterfly mowers that sit, you know, equilaterally behind your machine. But I've started to really quite enjoy using side mowers as well, so it's, I don't know, it's always good to try new things, isn't it? Let's be honest. It's all very well getting stuck in your ways and getting used to using the same stuff that you always use, but there is something to be said for going, do you know what? Just this once, I'm going to use something completely different. And sure enough, once you've done that once or twice, you start to realise there's nothing wrong with trying something a little bit different, using a different bit of kit that you don't ordinarily use. Like for me, side mowers like this. You're claiming spinach and red beets on Palanier. As you did say that the yields and the money as a result of the yields is pretty spectacular, didn't you? And I did kind of already know that, but I just didn't appreciate just how good the yields could be. So, and I know that within the confines of my own series on Palanier and Oakbridge, financially, I know at the minute I couldn't afford to buy any of the harvesting equipment or anything like that, but like I said, it's just food for thought. It's yeah. Honestly, I just never really considered doing them. Once I'd decided a long time ago, oh, I'm not really interested in doing any of these root crops. Ever since then, I've literally never even thought once about doing them, but there is a valid point to be made in that it's worth considering doing them. Do you know what I mean? You're eating a muffin, Lee. A chocolate muffin, a blueberry muffin, or a bacon and egg muffin? You're making me hungry. This happens every stream. Somebody talks about food. I've not had any tea yet. I've not had my dinner. It's 9:20 at night, and I'm actually quite hungry. The best one is the Preserved Food Factory. That one can produce multiple crops at full speed, instead of splitting the capacity over the different facility. Right, okay. It would be interesting seeing the less used crops featured. Yeah. Well, like I said, I am giving it more than just a little bit of thought. I think it's a very, very valid point. They are in the game. They've been in the game since day one. And let's be honest, I don't recall seeing many content creators after the game had been released, and especially as the game had been released and was being introduced to us all. The new crops were a bit of a novelty, weren't they? It's like, oh yeah, we've got, you know, spinach and red beets and all this kind of stuff, and peas and whatnot. And I know rice is a seldom seen one as well, let's be honest. But yeah, your sausage and chips is nearly ready. Stop talking about food. I'm so hungry. You've got sausage and chips as well. Nobody is making me hungry. You are in an endless loop of hunger. I'm genuinely not, you know. It's just, maybe it's because right now, at this particular second, I know that I cannot get food. I can't just go, right, I'm getting up. Sorry. I can't go, right, I'm getting up and just bugger off and go and get food. I have nothing nearby that I can grab to eat. And plus, I couldn't do that anyway live on camera. That would be a bit wrong. So I have to wait. And now I know that Mark is chomping down on sausage and chips. Lee's eating a muffin. It's not fair. Yum yum, says Mark. That's right. Rub the salt in the wound and not on your chips. Thanks, mate. So you need to harvest 0.8 hectares with the DeWolf Quattro, or 1.5 to 2 hectares for peas, spinach and green beans to earn back the renting cost of the equipment. Whoa, what? So you need to harvest 0.8 hectares with the DeWolf Quattro, or 1.5 to 2 hectares for peas, spinach and green beans to earn back the rental cost of the equipment. Right, okay. Okay. Well, that's not... It's definitely worth considering, isn't it? Let's be honest. Now, I am going to put a lot of thought into this, and to see how I can incorporate... I feel Palanier would be the map for me to do this on. I'm not too sure about Oakbridge. On the series, anyway, on one of my series. I feel Palanier would be the right one to have a go at that one. So I shall... yeah. shall give it some thought. For sure. I've actually got an episode of Palanier already recorded that's coming out this Monday. So, and that was already done and recorded before this conversation has been had. So forgive me, obviously, on that episode that's already been made. I won't mention anything. I won't have mentioned anything about considering doing root crops, but I shall give it a lot of thought, my friend. And with the I'm trying to I'm manually driving this myself. I'm not doing courseplay. I'm trying to drive in a straight line across a bumpy load of alfalfa and read the chat at the same time. And with the DeWolf, you can harvest up to around 1 hectare an hour. So if you harvest around 3 hectares, you can actually make a pretty penny. Right. Yes. This needs a whole load of looking at, doesn't it? Let's be honest. And I'm veering off now. Right. Swiss. Honestly, mate. FARMERSIM Uber Eats fund. Do you know what, actually? Mrs. FARMERSIM boycotted Uber Eats once. Well, once, and we've never used it again because they missed a load of stuff. We ordered a McDonald's on Uber Eats. There was 2 burgers missing off the order, and we obviously, because you can't speak to someone, can you? You don't want to get in your car and drive to the restaurant that you've just ordered from, because that was the whole point of Uber Eats. So we did the whole thing on the app to say there was some food missed off our order. Can we please have a refund? And they wouldn't give us a refund because they'd done it to us once or twice before. I think they must have thought, no, you've had your fill of refunds. You're not having your money back. And we were like, well, we're not trying to steal from you. We're not trying to get something that we're not entitled to. And sure enough, Mrs. FARMERSIM was like, right, never again. So and that was about 1.5 years ago, and ever since then we've never used Uber Eats. Screw Uber Eats as far as she's concerned. Cotton, while not new, isn't common, but it's fairly easy compared to the root crops, and the harvester just spits out a bale. Yes, look at that, wibbly wobbly all over. But to be fair, the bumpy surface I'm driving on doesn't help me trying to stay in a straight line, does it? I suppose I could use the steering assist, but I'm determined to do this myself. Fun fact, when peas are being harvested in the Netherlands, they harvest with 3 or 4 harvesters in a field just to get enough in a truck so it can go to the factory within a couple of hours, so it can be in time. You usually have like 3 or 4 hours to get peas processed before they spoil. Interesting. That's one of the things I highly respect about you, VFL, is you literally work in farming in real life, don't you? You have so much knowledge to bring to the table. It's wonderful. Not one to hold a grudge, like my mum. Well, it was the principle of it, because it was one of those. It's a very hit and miss thing. We had it quite a few times. It was when we were moving house, so wanting to get an Uber Eats in to get things done quickly was something that was, you can't be blamed for that, can you? But when they miss stuff off the order that we've already paid for, and then they refuse to give you your money back because they start to think that you're being dishonest and that nothing was actually missed off the order, you've just eaten it and you want some. I can appreciate that, but from us, we weren't. We were being literally genuine. There was 2 burgers at a cost of about 3 or 4 quid a burger that they'd missed off the order. So it was like, well, I'd rather not just give you £8 of our money for no reason. It's like, please give us our money back. And they were like, no. On this occasion, we are unable to issue you a refund. And we were like, right, sod you. Oh my God, roast beef monster munch, Welsh. Honestly. Yeah, we've got Just Eat, and obviously, yeah, there's There are a few others that we can take advantage of, but yeah, it was the Uber Eats one that just sticks in my mind. You're a journalist for a couple of Dutch farming magazines. Well, I never. Well, that's amazing. I didn't know that. That's very interesting. Wow. That explains all the different photos and stuff that you've posted on Discord now and then, VFL. Like one day you're over here and one day you're looking at this, and then I remember you posting some images of some really fancy futuristic scanning technology on the front of some tractors, and it was like, that makes sense now, knowing that you're a journalist. Very interesting indeed. Well, I for one am extremely grateful for your knowledge and your insight, mate. Very much so. Because I'm not a farmer in real life. I have the only link to farming in real life that I have is that my dad was brought up on a small dairy farm in Stoke-on-Trent here in the United Kingdom. That is my only link to farming, apart from my passion for the game. And I have a genuine interest in real farming in real life, but I don't, and I hold my hands up to this, I'm not a real farmer. I don't have experience driving tractors. I just love this game, and I love what it's done for me as a person, what it's doing, this YouTube thing and becoming part of this community. I've said this many times before, but it's done wonders for me and my character, I think. But it has increased my knowledge of farming. It's increased my awareness of farming and its importance massively. But I'm always ready and keen and willing and open to learning from the likes of people like Virtual Farming Life, who literally does stuff like this every day in real life. So it's wonderful to gain this kind of knowledge, because the game does have its boundaries when it comes to realism, doesn't it? Let's be honest. And I know FARMERSIM guy brought it up in his stream the other day. Just take milk, for example. In the game, you can take your milk that you've got from your cows, and you can store it in a silo for months and months and months until you can get 10 or 15 more dollars, euros, or pounds for 1,000 litres of the stuff. And it's like, you wouldn't do that, because it'd be disgusting. You know, it will have turned and curdled and grown legs and arms and ran off by the time if you'd have left it in a silo for several months, wouldn't it? So there are certain things, and I feel it would be great if we could have that, if there'd be some kind of script mod that could come along to remind you or force you to sell products that need to be dealt with very soon. Like what VFL's just said then about the process of processing peas. You know, within a couple of days they go bad, so you have to get them moved from field to factory ASAP, otherwise it's all gone. And we could, you know, I think we could really do with something like that in this game, quite frankly. Hey up, Sim Guy, how you doing, mate? Good to see you, buddy. How's Trix? Appreciate you joining us. No problem at all, FS Farmer. Appreciate that, mate. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you stopping by. Hope all's good, mate. You have a good one. Oh yeah, and I make product and promotional videos for equipment manufacturers. Bloody hell, VFL, is there anything you don't do? That's mega. You make promotional videos for equipment manufacturers. Oh, that's way cool. Wow. You are a busy man. Blogstar Gaming, good morning, mate. Hope you're well. Appreciate you joining us, buddy. How's things in your neck of the woods? You're currently selling your eggs every morning on Palanier, as I don't feel like it fits the realist Let's Play claim to just leave them. Completely with you there. I've only recently just got realistic livestock running on Palanier in the last couple of episodes. So now that I've got that mod running, things at the minute are moving quite slow. I have now got pregnant cattle, which is brilliant. So the bull has been busy, but there's still a little bit of, I've still got question marks over, and I'm not knocking it under any sense of the word, because the mod realistic livestock and the skill of Arrow, its creator, is wonderful, and we need this kind of stuff in this game. So I'm not saying this is a negative thing whatsoever, but I just noticed that it felt like there was a bit of an odd discrepancy in the birthing dates of the calves that I've got due on my farm. Some of them were like 2 years away, so some of them were only a few months away, and some of them were a couple of years away. And whether I've missed something, there's a likelihood I've missed something, so that might be the case. But apart from that, things are looking to move quite slowly on my farm when it comes to milk production anyway, because we own that dairy production site on Palanier. No probs. FYI, Bird's Eye freeze the peas on the field side. That would be a cool mod. It would be, actually, wouldn't it? Just have a mobile freezer unit. That's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. And you try to drive a tractor during harvest from time to time if you have the chance, but that rarely happens. Goodness me, mate. What does the realistic livestock mod do, Sim Guy? So what it does is it basically adds a whole world of detail into the owning and upkeep of your animals: cows, goats, sheep, chickens, pigs. So essentially what it does, so I'm trying to think of a simple way to describe it. So basically now, I haven't got realistic livestock running on this save. If I go to my cow barn and I buy 250 cows, all at 8 months old, I will then have, when I go to my cow pasture, into the menu, I will see one box that says 250 8-month-old cows. You don't get any individualization from that information. You just know that you've got 250 8-month-old cows. They start producing milk immediately, and reproduction is based on their health and their productivity levels, pretty much. What realistic livestock adds into the game, first and foremost, it divides, it gives you male and female variants, even though they don't look male and female. So it gives you, basically, in your cows, for example, you can have bulls. In your sheep, you can have rams. In your pigs, you can have boars. These male variants are the key to your female variants getting pregnant. If you don't have a male variant of an animal in your pen, your female versions of that animal will not get pregnant. What it also does is it individualizes each animal you have. Now that's one of the reasons why I don't have it on this, because at the minute using realistic livestock with several hundred head of cattle is quite a job. If you've got 250 cattle in your pasture, you will then if you go to the menu of your pasture, you will have a list of 250 animals, each individualized with their own code number, their own ID number and tag, because what it also puts on each individual animal is the ear tag. And I'm sticking with cows as an example here, but you get an ear tag on each ear of your cow, and it'll have their ID number, and it'll have your unique farm ID number as well. Some of them, and you can rename them all, and you can see each animal's individual health statistics. So you've got things like overall health, you've got fertility level, you've got whether a particular animal has got a high level, a high rate of milk production, or whether it's low metabolism. It's incredible. So what you can then do is go through your animals, sell all the ones, if you wanted to, of course. You can basically get rid of all your unhealthy animals, and then every day when the menu refreshes itself, you can buy in and replace them with healthier animals. So after a while, you can have a cow pen full of very healthy, good quality animals, as opposed to some being good and some being bad, some being really bad, some being walking carcasses, essentially. Do you know what I mean? It's essential. It's an incredible mod, and you know, like I said, the level of detail that it brings to the game is astounding, and it's brilliant. But just in my personal experience so far, because of and this came about from Iowa Cattle, my other series that I've got over here in the United States on Monteith, Iowa, in that I have hundreds of cattle on there. I've got about 300 at the minute. I've got about 361, I think. But can you imagine going through a list of 360 cattle? And you know, it was the menu systems were a little bit complicated initially as well, so it made it quite difficult to maintain. But one of the things I was humbled by as well is one day, one of the videos I released, Arrow, the mod creator, left a comment in one of the videos. It was the video that I decided to turn realistic livestock off in on that series, and he left a comment and he was like, oh, you know, I really appreciate the insight you had. You know, the idea, I think watching my video on there had given him some ideas for how to make realistic livestock better when it comes to running really, really big cattle farms. It's great if you've got like 30 or 40 cattle, maybe something like that, or pigs or sheep or anything like that. But when you've got hundreds and hundreds of cows or pigs or sheep, it can make it a very laborious task wanting to go through and sort them out, essentially. There you go. So yeah, that's something along the lines of what realistic livestock is. But what it is a must-have. I do say that without any shadow of a doubt. VFL, yes, please, mate, share. I'll share some of my work on the Discord if you'd like to see them. I absolutely would, my friend. Please do share whatever you like on there, mate. There's sections for Farming Simulator 25 and there's sections for other bits, I suppose. So yeah, by all means, please do. Be greatly received, mate. Who should be ashamed? Oh, Welsh. One giant bag of Monster Munch gone. Yes. You should be ashamed. You wash them down with some beer. Well, you're allowed to do that. There you go. Hey. Laborious, you say? Yes, it is laborious, especially when you've got to flick between the two menus. It can't all be done from one menu. So, regarding the livestock issue with the number of cattle animals that you might have, if you want to sell all your unhealthy animals, it's almost impossible to differentiate between the two, because the menu that you see the unhealthy animal, whether they're healthy or unhealthy, all you see is a code number, and you can't sell them from that menu. You have to go into another menu to sell them where you don't see the health information. So what you have to do is rename all of the unhealthy ones to sell, so that you can go back to the other menu and see all the ones that are listed as called sell and sell them all. That's why it's laborious. So yes, it's laborious. It's not a skill issue. You. That is, though, banging into my microphone. Quick question, is free landscaping on the multiplayer server? I don't think it is, Dutch, actually. Forgive me. There are a lot of mods on there. A lot of them requests. Free, I'm not sure it is. So stick it in. I mean, I can say I will do my best to remember, but I've got a memory like a colander. So stick it in the requested mod section. And as soon as physically possible, when I can see a moment where there's nobody on the server over the next few days, I will load up the next batch of requested mods. Thankfully, up to a point earlier this afternoon, every mod that had been requested by everybody is on the server, so I was very happy to have obliged everybody in that respect. Yeah. But no, yeah, the free landscaping stuff, I don't think it is, so I do humbly apologise. I'm just driving around on Hoot and Pantai and there is an ad for Project Motor Racing. Since when is that? That's another project of the Giants are involved in, BFL. Oh, we can't have that. Let's get those bits there. Missed that bit there. Yeah, creators like FarmSim Guy and DJ Goham I think they've been party to a bit of inside information regarding Project Motor Racing. It's essentially a motor racing game that uses, I believe, Giant's engine, what we're playing in here. So it's really quite interesting. You're going to give me a list of buildings to the server so I can build my own farm? Absolutely, mate. No problem at all. No problem whatsoever. I did add a load of buildings yesterday, actually, off my own back, but just mainly American-style ones. But no, please do. Yeah, create a list, throw the list at me, mate, and I will get that. I will get them added as soon as physically possible. I promise. Oh, forgive me, VFL. Sorry, mate. You never thought it'd be promoted on a map on the billboard? Yeah, well, it's yeah. I suppose it's quite cool, isn't it? In a way, bit of variety on the billboards. I'll tell you what, I've not actually been on Hoot and Pantide for a very, very long time. It is a very, very nice map, I have to say. I did really enjoy playing on that for the short while that I did. It is interesting. I want to reach for my drink, but I can't take my hand off my steering controller here because this bumpy ground. It just goes everywhere. Am I attending FarmCon? Not this year, mate. No, unfortunately not. My oh yeah, just making sure that's turned on. No, not this year, pal. Unfortunately not. My finances won't allow a European jaunt this year, I'm afraid. We've got too much to think about. I'd love to, don't get me wrong, I'd love to go, but it's yeah, it's just a little bit out of my reach at the minute, I'm afraid. Sorry, mate, full belly now. You're not sorry, not sorry. Sorry. You're not sorry at all, are you? Let's be honest. Is the multiplayer server hosted by G-Portal, or is G-Portal Trucker Drone? Yes, it is. It's your go-to save for when I want to play and not record stuff. That's pretty cool, mate. That's pretty cool. I like that. That's pretty cool. It's perfect, but I wished it had at least one farm without livestock. Are you referring to this map, Caravan? Are you talking about this one? It is a perfect map, in my humble opinion, for me, and how I like to play the game. It's the perfect size. 4X is my bang-on size, if I'm honest. And so far, with what we have in Farming Simulator, this is perfect. Where is FarmCon this year? It was, I think Jan said it in FSG stream the other night. I can't remember where it is. It's an equipment. It's an implement manufacturer, I think. Austria, yes. That's where it is. Cheers, Mark. Yeah, that's where it is. I can't remember the name of the company. Pottinger. That's... yes. Cheers, Cranky. That's the one. That's the one, mate. Yeah, I wish I could go. I'm definitely going to be keeping my eye on the content a few days after FarmCon's about to check it out and see who's been making some videos from there, because it does look like a whole lot of fun. It really does. Lintner spelt wrong. Yeah, that's, forgive me, that's where I got the confusion from. Someone had said Lintner. I think it was Jan in the in FSG stream. But yeah, it looks like it could be real good fun. I know previous FarmCons have looked great. They've always been at tractor manufacturers though, haven't they? Last year was Fendt, wasn't it? And it was a couple obviously before that at actual tractor manufacturers, whereas this one's at Pottinger. So it'll be interesting to see what goes on there. You're 44 in 2 months' time. Well, happy birthday. In fact, hang on a minute. What month is it? I'm 44 next month. Race you. just reminded me then that, yeah, it's my birthday next month and all. You're drinking and driving on the server, come stop me. Tut tut, Charlie. Well, the joys of virtual driving, I suppose. How's it going on the server, Charlie? Does everything seem alright so far? Is it working okay? I believe our good friend Chimera came to the rescue for me before. I started to have a bit of a panic, thinking I was going to have to try and do multiple things at once before. But yeah. 40s Club. Yes, you are 43 next month. 2 days before me, I believe, aren't you? Young whippersnapper, says Cranky. Young whippersnappers. Yeah. August 22nd. There you go. 45 next week, Trucker Drone. This is the 40s Club, isn't it? There we are. Well, happy birthday for next week, mate. I hope you have a lovely day. I feel like I've been doing this forever. You're all old. I'm just... You're 24? Young whippersnapper. Wow, mate. Bit of lag, but it's running smooth now. Interesting. How many people are on there at the minute, mate? So I must admit, when I was on there before, when myself and Tom were on there, we had a couple of people jump on. I hadn't experienced any lag at all. There was obviously there was the usual quick freeze of somebody as it synchronises when a new player joins, but apart from that, lag was tickety-boo. You're 44 in October as well, are you, Dutch? So I'm older than you. Ha! Sin, I feel young. Get off my lawn, says Swiss. I've got that image of Clint Eastwood in that Gran Torino film. My lawn. Get off it. So we have birthdays on the 22nd, the 24th, the 26th. Lots of 20s. There we are. Whoa, 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 Charlie. You're 20 next year and you feel old. Get off. Enjoy it while you can, mate. I'm going to tell you that from experience. Decades of experience. Yeah. FarmCom is brilliant, but not the event. Getting together with everyone else is what makes it. Yes, I believe that was something that I took from the last one, is because it's predominantly not in our native language. Am I correct? That's probably a polite way of putting it, isn't it? We feel like you've been doing this forever, to be fair. I look like it as well. Thanks, Dutch. Appreciate that, mate. Oh, is there 10 on there at the minute? Oh, that's good. That's nice to know. Excellent. I was really hoping that because this is my first community multiplayer server that I've created, proper one that I've got running and announced and put a load of time into and everything. So I am really hoping that it turns into a busy, vibrant little hub where people can come and do a bit of farming and get a bit of teamwork on, a bit of collaboration. That's what I was hoping for with this one. So yeah, the fact that there's 10 on there at the minute, that's really quite cool. Very cool indeed. Yeah, like I say, if you've I know Dutch and Kim have got a couple of requests for a few extra mods, so stick them in the list on the Discord and I shall upload them and add them at my earliest convenience. You've got grey hairs, Lee. So have I, mate. So have I. Yes. That's what's caused mine, with a bit of old age. Being young is a burden. All those expectations and pressure. Once I hit 40, I entered my villain. Oh, you know it, mate. You know it. You've got to enjoy being young while you can, though. Don't... Like, when we were really young, you wanted to be that little bit older so that you could get served for booze in a shop, for example. It was always like, you know, that age where you wanted to look a bit older and you wanted to be older so you could go out boozing with your mates and go to pubs and clubs. And now we're way beyond that. And it's like, you know, completely the other direction now. Is there a cross-play server as well? At the minute, VFL, there isn't, bud. No, at the minute, because the only... It was... I've been waiting for a long time for the right map, in my personal opinion, for a multiplayer server. And that's when this came along, Judith Plains. So when it came along, you know, I got the ball rolling and got it sorted and got that one, because this is for PC only. But at the minute, no. I wouldn't mind. It would be nice. And I think, because one of the things that this server is doing for me as well, it's giving me experience and practice maintaining a server, because it is hard work. It's not just a case of going, there you go everyone, here's a server, off you go. There's a heck of a lot of admin and maintenance involved in it. So, yeah. So I'm using this as a bit of a practice run for me anyway. So maybe give me a little bit of time. Because in the fullness of time, I'd love to have a whole host of servers running for different things. Obviously, cross-play one would be very much wanted, to be honest. I think there's a lot of people who'd like that. So, yeah. Give me a little bit of time, mate. I shall get my head round keeping on top of a multiplayer server. And at some point in the near future, watch this space on the Discord. They will be the first to know. Are we just doing spirals? Where's the upsies and downsies? Yes, at the minute, mate. I'm just going up. I'm just going round and round and round. Just that is, yeah, essentially what I've been doing. No course play, auto drive. Yes. Wait, what is hair? Yeah, that's right. Of course, even though I seem to remember DJ put out a fix for the map because courseplay was stopping multiplayer servers from working, but it still didn't work for me, even after the update. So auto drive is on there, but courseplay no. Right, I'll take. Just for you, Swiss. We are going to turn around and go for some ups and downsies. That's what we're going to do, and I've just managed to miss that bit off the end there. Shocking. Right, neaten that up. Spin it round again. Might put a poll on the Discord for a map, for a crossplay map, which will need some options. Good call, mate. Good call indeed, yes. That is a good idea. I mean, immediately, I'm already thinking of Palanier, because it's a gorgeous map. Maybe. Just a thought off the top of my head, without putting more than a minute's thinking into it. But yeah, that might be a good idea. A very good idea. Get them console pals in so they can have some fun as well, absolutely. Well, that's the whole thing, and it's just all about having some fun, and there really is something fun to be had with multiplayer farming simulator. It's really, really cool working with other people towards a common goal. It's mega. I've spent most of my time with Farming Simulator just doing it on my own. Single player, whatever. The first experience I had of doing multiplayer stuff, and it was like, oh wow, this is amazing. You know what I mean? So yeah, I heartily recommend it. Normal service is possibly being resumed. I know, maybe it was an easy option for being able to talk to the chat at the same time as do the work, maybe. I don't know. North Friesland is good for multiplayer. Beautiful map and plenty of farms. Is that right? Okay, VFL. I'll have a look at that one. I seem to think that's ARGZ and FSG's multiplayer series server, I think. Maple could be an option since it has 6 or so... Has it got 6 farms on it, Kim? Okay, didn't know that. But yeah, I'll gather thoughts from people and create a poll in a few days. Thank you very much, mate. Community manager, hard at work there, ladies and gentlemen. What a wonderful person. There we go. Check the DM I just sent. See if I can do this and drive in a straight line without using CORSAIR auto drive. Yes. Good thinking, Batman. Yes. But I've only been a massive advocate of courseplay, and I've said this before, purely because of my joy of making cinematics for my videos. Courseplay is an absolute must. But yes, I'm completely with you there. On a multiplayer server with lots of people, there is absolutely no need for automation, really, unless something like auto drive. You know what I mean? I get that. But courseplay, it's all about doing the work yourself, isn't it? Let's be honest. Absolutely right. Completely agree, mate. Completely agree. Yeah, it does feel like we've been doing this forever. Hang on, let me just have a look at the PDA. Where are we? Crop types. Okay, no, not too bad. Not too bad. Turn the mower to the other side. Does it do that? I don't think this... Does this mower flip to the other side? VFL? I don't think it does it? No. Oh, it does. Does it? No, that's just for... Rotate, paint tool, right. No. Yeah, I don't think I can on this one, bud. Don't think I can. Hey, Cranky, thanks, mate. Welcome to the members club, mate. Appreciate that, mate. Welcome aboard. That's awesome. So, Mr. Sci-Fi, have you watched Silo on Apple TV yet? I've watched all of Silo on Apple TV, my friend. I really have. It's amazing. Myself... Hang on, mouse control. Where's the mouse? Now I'm faffing around with mouse control. Do you know what? Let me just have a look at it now. If I can do this. I need to do this properly. I need to learn these kind of things. General settings. Where is my input? So gamepad, keyboard. Right. Okay. And mouse. So lift mower, fold mower. Open. Rotate crane tool right. No. It's not letting me do anything. It allows me to do that. But it won't. You just finished season 1, have you, Mark? Yeah. It's mega. It really is. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm going to have to just... I mean, I am going to just carry on. I'm going to investigate that though, because I need to look at that. Because usually it's like with a plough, you can turn the plough, but I can't. There's nothing for me to do it. Yeah, but I will look into that. Skill issue. Shut up, you. Yeah, it's a really good show, isn't it, Mark? Really enjoy it. It's Apple TV have got some really good ones, actually. Have you seen Slow Horses? It's not sci-fi, but it's brilliant. If you haven't watched that, watch that. What else is there? In fact, that has moved, hasn't it? It's just with the mouse. For some reason, with the mouse, it's really... It's barely doing anything. Let me change that again, back to keyboard, gamepad. That's my usual thing. If I just... Oh. There we are. Right. There we are. Done it. Done it. Ah. Right. You've only just got Apple TV. Well, there's a lot to enjoy, mate. There's a lot to enjoy. I will, well, I'm sure you've had a dig through there anyway, but, yeah, there's a lot to watch on there, mate. I'm trying to think of other ones. There's been... Oh! For All Mankind. If you haven't watched that. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It's a take on the space race in the 60s between America and Russia, but it's an alternate take. So and it's really, really good. If you haven't, so if you've only just got Apple TV, and you've obviously you can only do one at a time. It's not a skill issue. All of you, shut up. Right, turn off the mower. Spin that round there. There we are. See, I'm learning. I had no idea of that. You learn something new every day. You did say drive forward, attention issue. There's a lot going on, what can I say? I'm doing this and keeping an eye on the chat and making sure that we've not got any dropped frames and that the connection's okay and all that kind of stuff. There we are. For All Mankind is brilliant. It is sin, isn't it? It really is. Tim Van Deelen, the colours look like FS17. I constantly fettle around with the colours. I've got I do have reshade running with a couple of extra little bits going on there, and I also now have it's called Darker Shadows and Lights. It's a mod that you stick in your additional game settings that basically changes the whole lighting folder that the map takes its light from. Oh, stop it, Kimberly. Got the skill now. Well, it's just one of them things. Again, like I think I said it before. I've when it comes to mowers, ordinarily I've always just tended to use the normal butterfly mowers. Stick one on the front and a big one on the back. I've very rarely used side mowers, so this is kind of new to me. I've used them once or twice on Iowa cattle. Admittedly, I used Courseplay to do that job because I threw the mowing of that alfalfa into a cinematic, and Courseplay didn't do that. Courseplay usually is capable of folding plows when a plow needs folding, but it didn't do it with this mower. So here we go. You learn something new every day. I got the skill now. There you go. See, cheers, Cranky. At least someone's not bullying me. You lot. You just had you a glass of wine, share. Very nice, mate. Red or white? Very, very nice indeed, mate. There we are. I'm dead chuffed for that now. Thank you guys for letting me know that. How to do this properly. It is a cracking mower though, let's be honest. It is really cool. On this map you're using the Big M. It's a great bit of equipment. That I know over on the multiplayer server that one of the guys who started up a farm earlier on this evening, he was running a Big M. I has the skills. I do it. Well, I've got some of them now anyway. That can be said. You're missing some of Mark Thor's mods in FARMERSIM 25. You and me both, my friend. You and me both. Have you heard from Mr. Thor much recently, Mark? You know what I started using and it hasn't run regular mowers for me? The Macdon M1240 with the mower header. Ah. The one of the swathers, Kim. Yeah. Again, I've not really used those too much either. Hey, Mean Robots, how are you, mate? Good to see you, pal. How's it going? Oh, you're on red, are you, Share? Red wines are lethal, I find. I used to get absolutely battered on red wine. Not since Lama. Yeah, he was there, wasn't he? I do remember. I remember spotting him across the crowd. I don't think anything's happened to him, Sim Guy. Thankfully, I think he's just, for whatever reason, for his own personal reasons, he's just not. He's been. He's not been around FARMERSIM 25 much, and well, it's been the case for a few people, hasn't it? Farming Simulator 25 has seen the back end of a couple of our wonderful modders and map makers and stuff over the last few months, hasn't it? But it is what it is, isn't it? Red wine is the only one. It's been a long time for me, that. I have had the craving for a Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey, though, of late. I don't know why. Yes, it's good. Red wine is it's meant to be generally good for you in as a whole. He has no computer now. Well, that might explain his absence then, mightn't it? Being that most everything we do here on Farming Simulator involves a computer. Oh, that's a shame. Did his computer give up the ghost or something? Hey up, Lee. How you doing, mate? Good to see you. Red wine is the best. Mark Thor's PC gave up the ghost. He's saving to get another. Well, it's a shame that happened to him. Of course, that's obviously we all rely on our PCs. If my PC gave up the ghost, I'd be screwed. Let's be honest. Yeah. Well, maybe that's a glimmer of hope then for the future when he does get himself a new one, and that we may well see the return of some of Mark Thor's mods, because he made some cracking mods. Let's be honest, didn't he? Am I planning on going to Lama again next year? I am. Yes, I love Lama. It's absolutely brilliant. So much fun, and it's only down the road. Well, I say down the road. It's only an hour's jaunt down the M6 for me. So yeah, that's easily achievable for me, and it's great fun because I get to meet so many of you wonderful people, and we have our own little farming simulator day out. I term it as, because it's mega. Yes, he is still on Discord, all cranky. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm good, thank you, Lee. I'm very good, thank you, mate. Enjoying running another live stream here on Judith Plains. I'm still toying over the idea of what to do with this in respect of doing some kind of a series on here, but again, I'm not rushing into anything. You going to be going as well, VFL? Brilliant, mate. I will look forward to meeting you. Very much so. That's awesome. It's a great day out. It really is wonderful. I've been very lucky and fortunate to have gone to the last two Lamas, and they are wonderful. Last year especially, because there was a proper farming simulator community meet-up after Lama in a hotel in Birmingham, and it was just brilliant. Just us lot, essentially, our little gang, in a room, in a hotel, and it was wonderful. So yeah, looking forward to that, and I believe something like that is likely to happen again this year. FS, you need to save for FarmCon, mate. I know. There's a lot of things I need to save for. A house is the first one. How do I give my cows meadow? The poor bloody thing. Are you on about on here, Ron? I'm not too sure, actually. I can't actually say how to give them meadow. I think you'll just have to... For now, I just accepted that I couldn't get it to work, and just... because they're pre-placed. I mean, you could paint grass in, but I don't think it'll work that, will it? I've been doing lots of corn and soybeans on this map for my solo play because of that ethanol production. Awesome. How are you getting on with it? It's good money, that, isn't it? Ethanol on here. And that's another wonderful production system that DJ Modding added to this map. There was me babbling on before about the whiskey and the beer production. Yeah, ethanol's the other one as well, which is really quite cool. Right, let's come to a stop there. I'm dead chuffed you've told me how to do this, you lot. Thank you. I didn't know. Travelling to the UK always takes some time from over here. Yes. Whereabouts exactly are you, VFL, if you don't mind saying? Roughly in the world, which country are you coming from? Yeah, I can imagine it's a fair trek. Not from within the UK. I'll be there with my cakes, says Cher. Brilliant. Can't wait, mate. I mean, Ron, I don't think painting it in will work, to be honest. I don't think that will work. You can try it, but I don't think it will. And the wine production, trucker drone, absolutely. Bang on the money there, mate. Yep. There are quite a few. See, we are somewhat helpful. You are. You're all wonderfully helpful. I don't really give two Taco Bell beeps about the money. It is just something new and fun to do. Yeah, and that's the joy about it, isn't it? It's something different. That's what this map has brought to us. Something different. Yes, it's a similar process. You've still got to take the stuff out the field. You've still got to do the same stuff. But you get something different at the end of it. And maybe that requires one or two little interesting bits of equipment. I know for ethanol, you'll need yourself a tanker. If you need a tanker, which means you need a nice truck. If you need a nice truck, you've got to go find a nice truck mod. Like Project Pete. It's brilliant. If it doesn't, I will just blame it on me. So yeah, well, story of my life there, Ron. Story of my life. Near Amsterdam in the Netherlands, VFL. Right, okay, yeah. So you've got it's a decent trip, isn't it? Let's be honest. It's but it's well worth it, mate. It's well worth. Well, I'm assuming if you're coming from the Netherlands, you'll be doing it for more than a day, won't you? Because Lammer's usually on for 2 days, isn't it? So it's well worth a night in a hotel or two. A night or two in a hotel, not a night in 2 hotels. Yeah, it'll be well worth it. Because for people like me, it's really cool to get up close and personal to the real-life machinery that we get to play with in-game. But for someone like you, VF, who deals with it on a daily basis, it'll be more of a... Well, it'll definitely be more of a business venture for you, won't it? If you're an actual journalist, you'll be seeing the newest, latest and greatest bits of kit and reporting on it, won't you? Yeah, man. Do all productions give pallets or similar? You'll need to move to a sell point. Yeah, I think so. Pretty much, Sin. Yes. Whatever the production system produces, aside from ethanol, you'll need to load into some form of tanker, if I remember correctly. If you do whiskey, you'll get pallets of whiskey, wine, beer, and the such. Yeah. You're going to Agritechnica this November as well. Anyone joining in Germany? As much as you dislike the brand, you're enjoying the beer production. It's funny that somebody said that the Youngling, I think I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, but the Yingling, is it Yingling? Is that how you pronounce it? Beer is apparently very, very nice. Never had it myself, but apparently it's very, very tasty. I wish I could be making European jaunts this year, VFL. I'd love to go to something like Agritechnica. Or for some people, Llama is about getting up close with you. What? Nobody is going to Llama to get up close with me. I'll tell you that for now. It's just a great day out for me. It really is. So much fun. And just getting to rub shoulders and talk to the people that I've spent so many years watching on YouTube, the likes of, you know, Farmer Cop and DJ Goham. They make the incredibly massive journey over from the States pretty much every time for Llama. Obviously, you've got the likes of FSG and Cartech. Mark, I get to Mark's there, and Jos and Jan. They were there, and loads of other people. I met Welsh in person. Welsh Sim Farmer. I met him in person for the first time, only to discover that last year that we've actually got a much closer connection anyway, because he's really, really good friends with my brother-in-law, and he's worked with him for years. And I was like, what? I come all this way, and, you know, being part of to me, a new community of amazing people who I'm fortunate enough to, in a lot of cases, to be able to call my friends. And I'm standing there talking to FSG and Mark Haythornthwaite and Welsh. And Welsh says, oh yeah, I know I used to work with Glyn. And I'm like, what? I couldn't believe it. I was absolutely blown away. Maybe it was in that strategically placed clothing store next to the Giants stand. Oh, Mark. There we go. Alfalfa. Cut. Done. And now I know how to use the mower properly. Brilliant. And I need to get off this field. Tell you what, though, it's 10:20, so we're not going to get round to running the merger in this field. We're not going to get round to the baling. In fact, I'm just going to stop here and turn the engine off. Wow. Feels like it's been about an hour with that tractor just running along in the background. As soon as you turn the engine off, it's like, oh, peace and quiet. I remember when I first met you and you were impressed. I knew, do you know, yeah, that's right, Cher. That was one of the most amazing experiences for me when my first Llama was going there and somebody saying, oh, hello. And I was like, what? It was a humbling experience, which got destroyed. Yeah. So, there we are, ladies and gentlemen. 10:20. Yeah, I think it's about time I called it here. We've got a bit done, bit of field work. I really appreciate you all joining me for the live stream. Still 82 of you viewing, so and only 49 likes. So if it's no trouble on your way out when we do come to a finish, please do hit that like button. It'll do me wonders, help YouTube and its algorithm do its thing. But yeah, guys and gals, thank you very much. This farming on a server is hard work without mods. We were just kind of talking about things like Courseplay, Dinky, and how I suppose multiplayer servers like that are supposed to be. Is that the kind of mods you're referring to, Dinky, Courseplay and stuff? Or if you do have any mod requests, Dinky, let us know in the over on Discord, mate. If you've got anything that you'd like to see on the server. Yeah. Cheers, guys and gals. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you spending a bit of time with me on your Friday evening. Thank you very much indeed. Cheers, Mark. Cheers, Ron. Cheers, Cher, Kim, Trucker Drone, everyone who's been on board. Thank you, Old Cranky. Welcome to the club, buddy. Appreciate you. Mean Robots, nice one, mate. Everybody, I really do appreciate your time. Cheers, VFL. Thanks for everything, mate. Thank you for your knowledge. And I'm very keen to see some photos over on Discord, mate. Whenever you get the chance, that's awesome. So yeah, thank you everyone. Really appreciate you stopping by. and spending time with me on your Friday evening. I'll likely do another one of these in the next couple of weeks because I can't get enough of this map, quite frankly. So yeah, nice one everyone. See you soon. Appreciate it. See ya.